welcome you all. First, a small introduction, because I have just 16 minutes to speak about what I came for today. We are such a group of guys. We are trying to speak about some subjects in Islam, especially in the Islamic civilization and culture. And actually, Mr. Adam from the Subject Student is the first one who hosts our meetings in Politechnika. So we appreciate this for him so much. Today, inshallah, we are speaking about two subjects. I think they are quite important. First one, which I'm going to introduce today, is the heritage of the Muslim scientist to the mankind. It's a subject which is, we can say, it's extended from the 7th century till the 12th century. And unfortunately, as more non-Muslims, they know nothing about it. As more Muslims, they know nothing about it as well. As I did from 1 year or something. For example, we don't know that the first trial of a successful flight was done by a Muslim scientist in Andalusia. We don't know that the founders of the chemistry are the Muslims. We don't know how much contribution that the Muslims add to the human civilization. All what we may know, even some Muslims, they may know that about the Muslim, first of all, that most of them are Arabs. Well, they are just 20% or something now. Maybe they know that the guys they have these long beards and they are stinky. They are beating their wives. Have a machine gun in his right hand and a big bomb in his hat or something. So maybe after this session we will have more understanding of this culture or this civilization and this religion. Actually, when we started to distribute our posters and send the emails to the people, hey, let's come for the first meeting, we're trying to do something and this stuff, I went to many places till I went to some dom studentsky or dormitory, which is, I was tired. I said, it's not important, it seemed very elegant, the people are not interested in this. So I went with a poster and someone from the security came with me and told me, he just speaks Polish, a very nice guy called Janusz. He told me, tu jest lekcja Islam. I told him, tak. He told me, in Polish. He told me, wiesz, w Sudan, w Afghanistan, w Irak, co 1 minut zabiją 3 chrześcijanie. I said, oh my God, man, with the poster, you should come. So please, as we are making such things in English, we have many people who have the worst idea about the human being, especially in this country. So it's our mission to let them understand that at least we wash ourselves at them. Okay, so first thing we're going to speak about is the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages was a definition that has been taught to the European, even to the Muslims in my country, that these ages from the 7th century or the 6th century till the 14th century, till the Renaissance and the Industrial Revolution, was full of dark. While actually it was full of light in some spot of the world, and it was completely dark in other part of the world. As now is vice versa. Now we got the darkness again. So this was the Arabs and the Muslims or not actually the Muslims, but the Arabs at this spot of the world which we can call Mecca. A very primitive people and simple. Such camels. Till now people think that I go to Egypt in my work by my own camels, by the way. So because you just see the pyramids and the Sphinx in the advertising. So a very simple and primitive people. Before 610, there was no, you can't find one even scientist that has a contribution in the science of any kind of science or any kind of narrated books or something. There was nothing. Even if you see the culture and the civilization was surrounding by the Arabic Peninsula, you find each civilization had some contribution to the human development. For example, you find in the West the Egyptian culture, in the North the Byzantine and the Persian, you find in the East the Indian and the Chinese culture, even the Habash, the Ethiopia. While in this spot of the world they had lack of everything, of science, of water, of ethics. You can't say it was the poorest area of the world in everything. And at the same time, you find that the most famous conqueror, like Alexander the Great or many other, the Persian, they didn't even, when they were trying to conquer the whole world, they didn't even have any intention in this area of the world. Alexander the Great, he went to Egypt, Syria, all these places, but he didn't care even to occupy these lands, because it has nothing. So the question here, what happened after 610? This was the turning point that I can say that it changed the human history. There is a book by Graham Fuller. He was the vice chairman of the CIA. He wrote a book. It's called "World Without Islam." It's a very nice book. And when I read this title, I was imagining a world without Islam. Really, it's very interesting to think an idea like this. So for example, if you ask some European guy, a world without Islam, they say, we would still have the World Trade Center, or we will not have these terroristic attacks, or we wouldn't have any kind of conflict. But I believe if there was no Islamic culture or Islamic civilization has came in the 7th or the 6th century, I think lots of science contribution and even moral ethic contribution to the modern world wouldn't exist. And when we see the reflect of why, for example, we say God has chosen this place to reveal the last mankind, according to Muslim, that we believe this is the last message for the mankind. Why this area exactly? Actually, from my understanding, I believe that God has chosen this place with the poorest ever area, people who has a lack of knowledge. They were such an, or any culture always is based on a book. You find, for example, the Greeks is based on Homer, the poetry of Homer. The Jews in the Torah. But the Arabs at that time, they didn't have any kind of material book, like the Constitution. So we believe that by this book, sticking to these rules, your life will change. You will break the limits that you couldn't break before. So from 610, we believe that was the turning point in this civilization. It was the renaissance of this civilization. And even there is a book for Michael Hart called Understanding Human History. This book speaks, it explains the initiation of the Homo sapiens, of the history of the man from 10,000 years. And generally he speaks that the rates of intelligence and talented people are equal everywhere. Everywhere you can find Einstein. Everywhere you can find people who can take up the civilization to upper levels. So we believe that, for example, the Egyptians, they had a great civilization. Now we have great crisis. For example, Europe, they had a very bad situation in science and many things. But now they are in a good situation, in which you believe that the man can do. But what's his constitution? What's his book? What's his motivation? What's his enthusiasm to do this? So let's speak about the first night of revelation of the Holy Quran, which we believe that has been revealed to Prophet Muhammad, blessing and peace upon him, in this cave, in the cave we call Cave Hira. He used to stay in the. I'll just move 2 minutes in this story, and then we begin in an hour. He was sitting in the cave. He used to stay there, and he said at the night the angel came